guys, thanks for tuning into F1 Podcast, episode 107, Max. And we just want to say a special thank you before we get into the action, mate, to all the people who were with us at the MSN chat before the race and Blog TV during the race.
You guys rock.
It was cool, mate. It was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was great. It was really good.
Yeah, it was good fun.
It was good fun having a chat with you guys before the race, and no doubt you saw the shit that we were carrying on with during the race on Blog TV, and yeah, it was something different for us, and we hope you enjoyed it.
And we hope to do more. All right, mate, let's talk a little bit about the race at Albert Park. Finally, we've got our first race under our belts, mate, and the season is underway. Mm-hmm. And those Brawns lined up on pole, and we were talking a little bit about having some carnage at turn one, and I don't think it was carnage, but certainly it was for one Mark Webber.
There was argy-bargy, Pet.
There was, mate.
We did call it.
There was, and Rubens had a shit start, and so he was dropped back a little bit, and then he was punted from behind by Hakey, and caused Webber to get squeezed a little bit with Heidfeld, I believe. Mm. And so Webber had a shit start, but Barrichello had a worse start. What did you think, mate?
I was sort of, as I'm sure you all saw, going, the fuck's going on with Rubens here? And thankfully he, the anti-stall kicked in, but thankfully he kept the car alive and was able to pull away. Mm. I was really disappointed for Webber, to be honest, and I know I'm not being parochial because he's an Australian, but Jesus Christ, that guy's done some serious bad shit in his past life. There's no doubt about it. Hakey hit the back of Rubens, and Rubens, his car skew-whiffed across the side to Webber and took Webber out, and it was just, look, it was one of those things, mate. I think they call it nowadays a racing incident.
Yeah, it was, and really Webber had nowhere to go. I mean, when you look at the in-car footage, he was there kind of in the middle of the circuit, and there was cars to his left, car to his left, car to his right. And
he was screwed three sides to Tuesday. I mean, there's nothing he could have done. But it was just disappointing for Mark, and I'll tell you what though, that Brawn seems to be fairly bulletproof, mate, because Rubens kept going. And we all know what happened.
With his wing was sagging at that point, and we were saying actually during the race in those first couple of corners already Jensen was pulling out a massive gap.
Yeah, in about 8 seconds on
turn 4 or something.
Yeah, he just absolutely went kabang.
Yeah,
and he wasn't headed. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he just took off, and really he wasn't really challenged for the rest of the race. But certainly for that first lap or two, I thought, my God, look at the speed. Everyone else was sort of getting involved in their own little incidents, and Jensen was just, going for it. Yeah.
Why do I say Michael Schumacher-esque? 2004, he was just off him at the distance. He just went. And Braun's got some pace, all right.
So, mate, they kind of, settled in a little while there, and there was a few accidents during the race. I think the first one was Nakajima, who at turn 4 or 5 got it up on the curbs and went a little bit wide and lost traction, and then buried the car buried it pretty hard actually into the wall, destroyed the front of the car, brought the safety car out, mate.
Yep, absolutely.
And he's been pretty, a little bit prone to accidents, Nakajima.
Yeah, he's taken up from where Takuma Sato left off in his early career. But to Nakajima's credit, he sort of screwed up sort of thing. But he took that curb pretty high.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. And you're left with nothing after that. I mean, you're going to hit a wall, and he did.
Yeah, he brought the safety car out, and the safety car It was there for quite some time. They didn't have a crane or whatever, but geez, I was just waiting for the racing to get started again, and they took some time with that car.
Sure did.
And they had some pit stops, and one thing that I noticed, Max, was during the pit stop phases is that the difference between the super soft and the regular tyre, or was just quite a big difference, and I think the FIA has been trying to get a big difference there, so you can get some drivers on super softs, others on the option tyre, and really just make sure that there's some good racing, because different drivers are on different tyres.
Yeah, well, as we know, you've got to use both tyres during a Grand Prix, and Ferrari, from memory, started on the super soft. It's not super soft. They started on the option tyre, the soft tyre,
on the soft tyre,
which is quite interesting. Most of the other teams started on the regulation time. But yeah, it certainly spices up the racing. There's no doubt about that. And one might argue that, although we'll go on to this in a moment, one might argue that it potentially caused an accident.
It could have, mate. The speed differential between the two tyres was quite big. So we had PK going off, he had a brake problem, and Barrichello hit Kimi, so Barrichello was smashing his way around the circuit a little bit, mate.
Yeah, look, I'm for PK, I'm actually pleased that he had a brake failure, because at least he didn't screw something up. So I'm actually quietly pleased for Nico. It wasn't my fault.
For PK.
Sorry for PK. I didn't screw up. It wasn't my fault. It was the car, for a change.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that's unfair, but you get my drift. But yeah, a disappointing result for PK in a year that I think, as we both discussed, both on and off camera, is a crucial year for young PK. Needs to perform.
Yeah, and Barrichello, he was going into, I think, turn 3 or 4 and had a little incident with Kimi, and I just thought, my God, this guy's smashing his way around the circuit, and given the result at the end of the Grand Prix, he's a very lucky boy, mate.
This is a NASCAR, Rubens. Right, you can't get away with that shit, but he did. Scary.
He did. And, Rosberg, who ended up finishing in the points, a lot of us, including you and I, Max, were expecting a lot more from Rosberg. He had a bit of a fuck up with his pit stop, so I don't think we've seen the true pace yet from that Williams car, because really, he was doing quite well until that pit stop. So we'll have to see whether Nico can get some podiums in the next few races.
Yeah, I agree with you for a car that was explosively quick in practice. I don't think we've seen the end of it, and hopefully in Malaysia, especially down those two massively long straights, we'll see the Williams come alive.
We'll see you soon for the next one.
All right, guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.